Chorus Waitangi Day. To be performed by Elizabeth Tipuni, recipient of the 2024 Sounds NZCF Te Reo Māori Choral Composition Awards.
Wonderfully sung by Elizabeth Tipuni from Tawa College in Wellington's northern suburbs, or recently departed from Tawa College. Well done, Elizabeth. Just one change to the Phoenix side from that which started the goalless draw against the Mariners in Christchurch 12 days ago. Lucas Kelly-Heald is fit again. He comes onto the left side of the back four. Sam Sutton pushes further forward. Nathan Walker drops down to the bench. Still no Alex Rufer, who hasn't featured since December. Ruben Zadkovic makes three changes to the side that started the 1-0 defeat to Western Sydney last Friday. Centre-back Lucas Harrington's on Australian under-20 duty. His place taken by Lebanese international Walid Shaw. Up front, Florin Berenguer and new signing Nathan Amanatides come into the starting side, with Adam Zimmerino and Keegan Jelicic joining the reserves. Tim Payne is set for a return via the Wellington Phoenix bench, having missed the last four matches. Austin Ludwig could make a debut from the Brisbane bench, as could Lachlan Candy for Wellington. Giancarlo Italiano has never tasted defeat against Brisbane. The Phoenix had 2 wins last season, with the other match drawn, and in March of 2022 he took temporary charge while then head coach Ufuk Talay had COVID. He oversaw a 3-0 victory. Ruben Zadkovic has had a challenging time at the helm of Brisbane since taking over as the Raw's 4th different head coach last season. He's overseen just 4 wins in 26 matches in charge and has just 1 victory in 14 games this season. UK-born Jack Morgan's our referee. He controlled this same fixture in round 3 last season. He'll be assisted today by Kiwi Isaac Travis and Australian Daniel Ilievski. Campbell Kirkwana Wars the 4th official. Chris Griffiths-Jones is in VAR. Final words of encouragement for both sides. Jay O'Shea, as always, vocal in the Brisbane huddle. Nathan Amanatides on debut, and Scott Wootton there laying down the law for the Wellington Phoenix, letting them know, no doubt, in no uncertain terms, that a win, and only a win, will be good enough today. Good crowd in on Waitangi Day, a public holiday here in New Zealand. Not on that part of the ground, but that part. Kids have been let in free today. A good sprinkling of families. Let's hope for some football to keep them excited and on the edge of their seats. Jack Morgan gets us underway on Waitangi Day in Aotearoa's capital, Te Whangarui-a-Tara, Wellington, round 18 underway in the Isuzu UTE League. The Phoenix in their all-black strip again today, attacking the goal to your left in the first half. Brisbane in the light strip, heading from left to right in the first period. The 50th meeting between these two. Brisbane 21 wins, Wellington 13, 15 draws. Wellington, though, have won 4 and drawn 2 of the last 6. And Brisbane haven't won in Wellington since January of 2017. The approaches of the two sides will be extremely interesting to watch, given their respective fortunes. Wellington quite happy to try and play out from the back, and off the head of Nathan Amanatides. Almost an instant impact from the new boy.
Well, I talked about the fact that the Phoenix have been a little bit more pragmatic in their build-up. Today, that is definitely not the case. He's tried to play that blind round the corner, not had a look over his shoulder. A ridiculous pass, to be honest. Phoenix lucky that Kelly Hill was in the right spot to get a touch over the bar.
I'm sure Nathan Amanatides couldn't believe it. He fashioned a header on target, which was to his credit. Brisbane have earned a corner, which Florent Berenguer will take. Fleshry restored to the starting lineup. It's away by the other Kelly Hield, and then on the volley, Louis Zabala, who's never scored an A-League men's goal, and won't change that with that particular effort.
But I think with the fact that Florent Berenguer is playing today, I think he's really, really good on set pieces. So the Phoenix do not want to give away too many free kicks around the box, too many corners, because he normally picks his spot. There's a decent ball in there, but Phoenix defended it quite well, and lucky it really bounces to Zabala rather than somebody who scores generally.
Brisbane on the front foot early, and will it to come again? Henry Hoare. Good defending at the back there from Isaac Hughes, but the side at the bottom are on the front foot early in Wellington.
Yeah, we thought they'd come here and try and start well, but they look full of confidence. It looked like they got nothing to lose, and that's always a problem when you're playing against a team like that. Really, really fast start from Brisbane Roar here.
Well, the win predictor, I'm sure, was done pre-game. If the man in the algorithm booth was watching the first 2.5 minutes, he might adjust that slightly. Here come Brisbane again as they look to capitalise on this early period of pressure. Berenguer flicks it on, away by Isaac Hughes. Phoenix will just look to calm things down and perhaps get out of their own half. Over towards Sutton. Nagasawa has gone past him, but Bility using his muscular frame to good effect. In fact, it was Waleed Shaw coming across.
Looks a pretty athletic back three, Piney, today for Brisbane Roar. I don't think the balls from deep going up to the likes of Costa is exactly what he wants today. He wants it into feet if he can. If he can drop off and get the ball, I think he can cause them problems if he can get himself facing forwards.
Yeah, Waleed Shaw, the Lebanese international, joining Hossein Bility in central defence.
You can hear Zavkovic go, go, go. He wants them to press. He wants them to get into him. I think he's already seen that they're a little bit vulnerable back there.
Yeah, very keen to have his front men step on. Berenguer there in the centre forward position at the moment. He'll probably play as more of a number 10. With Halloran and Hoare, Amanatides ahead of him. Waitangi Day here in New Zealand, a public holiday. We welcome you in on the other side of the Tasman where it's not. So Brisbane Roar fans watching this mid-afternoon on a work day, it's good to have you with us. Former football fern Anna Greener's sideline for us. Two pretty animated coaches early on. Greenie?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got both coaches on the edge of their technical area, and Zadkovic, you can hear him just buoying the lads on, making sure that they're pushing at every opportunity possible.
Thanks, Greenie. Yeah, he's a fairly emotional coach, as he was a player, Ruben Zadkovic. Klein forward to Hoare. Halloran's off on a run. Ben Halloran straight at Kelly Heald when he had all the goal to aim at. It's gone behind for a corner. Good opportunity for Ben Halloran.
Yeah, look, really good play again. I think the one thing to notice there, Piney, is actually Berenger dropping off the front. He gets into those nice little pockets and then he normally keeps the ball. It's a little setback, then they go wide. I think, to be fair, somebody of Halloran's ability, he's got to do better there. Move the keeper's feet and go across him. I think Kelly Heald will probably look back at that one and think he should have held it as well.
2 goals already this season for Ben Halloran. Berenger going to take the resulting corner, the second already of the afternoon for Brisbane Roar, who have started brightly. Once again, the delivery is good. Wootton this time gets it away and makes a point or two to his defenders. Back in by O'Shea. Halloran scampers across and will win a free kick. Will he? No, they'll play on because Brisbane have the ball. Zabala towards the far post and headed over by Klein. Really good opportunity again from Brisbane.
Yeah, pretty naive there from Corbin Piper. He rushes out, he's never going to get the ball. The ball rebounds, goes into Zavala. He does really well to draw the defender across. It's an unbelievable chip ball, and he's just got to head it down. Anywhere down, it's a goal. My goodness, he'll want that one back.
Gilt-edged opportunity for Brisbane Roar. Sam Klein. He's cemented a place in Brisbane's midfield in the last little while. This is his 4th consecutive start. He was, well, in really good position to score his first A-League men's goal. Wellington just having real trouble at the moment, getting out of their own half. Is Zabala. Halloran. Shaw breaks it out to Amanatidis, who is playing in a deep-lying role. And Jay O'Shea decides to go all the way back to Macklin Freak. Bit of pressure put on O'Shea by Rattray, and now on Shaw by Barbarousis. Macklin Freak decides that he'll clear Brisbane's lines. Kelly Heald has it taken off him by Klein. Berenger. Hoare with Halloran outside and Zabala too. Bright start for Brisbane. Zabala hangs it up to the far post, but too big.
I think the one thing we can see, Piney, I thought it was a back three to start with. I don't think it is. I think that Zabala certainly has been up and down that left-hand side. Looks to me like a back four.
There he is, Louis Zabala, 4th season at Brisbane, recently brought up 50 games for the Roar. Brisbane haven't beaten Wellington since March of 2022. As mentioned, the last time they won here was over 8 years ago. But the way that started, Ruben Zadkovic will be encouraged. Here's Amenatidis. Ashiga stepping in and trying to dispossess Henry Hoare. Berenguer. Now Bert Gilroy into the back of Wootton. Henry Hoare looking to pick up the scraps. Well, the first 10 minutes have gone by, and if you didn't know, you wouldn't think Brisbane were propping up the rest in terms of the A-League ladder.
I think the stats there, Piney, say, oh, it's been a really tough start for the Phoenix, but they just need to hang in there. When the game's going like this, it's really important that if you're in the ascendancy, you score. And at the moment, if they can keep them out for sort of the next 5-10 minutes, the game will settle down. It always happens. The Phoenix
Here's Costa Barbarouses, and had an opportunity through an errant pass to score very much against the run of play. Goal 101. Couldn't quite get the purchase he was after.
I think that kind of highlights some of the problems with the Brisbane Roar at the moment. Barney, you know, they've been playing ever so well there, and then one errant pass, that could be 1-0 to the Phoenix, and the Phoenix have barely been in the opposition half.
Maybe that'll give Wellington a bit of confidence. But as you say, Ifey, they just have to wait for those opportunities to arrive. Man down for Wellington, it's Costa Barbarouses, I think. Had a season with Brisbane, 2010-11. Top scorer with 12 goals as they won the A-League Premiership Championship double.
Yeah, abilities. Is it ability? No, sure. Just not looked over his shoulder there. Didn't even realise there's a runner. And that's what I'm talking about, those little moments. He's got to have checked his shoulder there, then he can let it run if he's not there. Costa probably feels he should do better there. I think he probably got time to get it actually back on his right foot and maybe go for the far corner.
7 goals this season so far for Costa Barbarouses. Early opportunity to add to that tally, not taken.
Just looking at the back four of Brisbane here, Piney, there's a lot of opportunities if they can get the ball up, back and through, because one centre-back will step in, but the rest of the back three are not going anywhere at all. So there's spaces there for Costa, there's spaces for Ashige, Nagasawa. It's just picking the pass at the right time.
Lucas Kelly-Hill back in the starting 11, having missed out in Christchurch through a minor injury. Joins twin brother Albie back in the starting Phoenix side. Two clean sheets in their last 3 outings for Wellington. 2 0-all draws in their last 2 home games. Sheridan. Now Nagasawa thought about raking a pass over towards Piper, instead used Hughes as the outlet. He bends one into the path he hoped of Costa Barbarouses, and Costa just unable to pull it down in the penalty area.
I think Costa acknowledged there that that's not a bad ball. I think he likes that. You know, didn't quite get the execution, but it's a decent run from Costa, and it's a good look. And I think that's where you can actually get down the sides, potentially, if it is a back four.
O'Shea thought about bringing it out of his own penalty area. Back to Freak, and they'll come out through Waleed Shaw. Bert Gilroy. Amenatidis is in a battle with Kelly Heald. And it's off the Phoenix defender for a Brisbane throw. Amenatidis has already shown significant movement, hasn't he? Not exactly quite sure what position he's playing.
But I think there's a lot of rotation all over the pitch, Piney. I'm looking, and when they play out, they drop into a back three, and that's what confused me at the start. Jay O'Shea's happy to go back there and deal with that. And then when they are defending, they're definitely in a back four. And I think with the front sort of 4 or 5, it looks like Zadkovic is allowing anybody to sort of go anywhere into any space, and it's really difficult for the Phoenix to pick up who should be where.
Wellington just having a bit of trouble Clearing their lines again. Hoare. Here is Manatidis. Sam Sutton, though, with the defending. And again with Bert Gilroy. What are you sensing sideline, Anna Green, in terms of the momentum of the game? It feels like it's Brisbane's at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's been Brisbane since kickoff, and we're 15 minutes in now, and I'd say it's still with Brisbane. Just jumping off the back of what Ify was saying there, you can see that Chiefy's trying to give instructions because Brisbane are moving around, and that gap between the fullbacks for the Phoenix and the wide forwards is causing so much trouble. The players aren't sure whether they're coming, whether they're going, who's meant to step into that, and as you'll see here, it's just leaving big gaps behind the fullbacks.
And Manatidis is going to run into one of those gaps, which closed quickly. Combines with Bert Gilroy, and then into the middle where it's nearly picked up by Zabala. Brought away by Rattray. Nagasawa trying to play Costa Barbarouses in.
Yeah, it's those moments again, Piney. Look, if the Phoenix are going to be under pressure and they're going to sit off a little bit and soak it up, when it goes into the front man, whether it's Nagasawa, whether it's Costa, you've got to secure that ball, look for somebody underneath, and then play the next pass. That's where the Phoenix can catch Brisbane today.
Nagasawa picks up possession in midfield again. Rattray just sizing up his options. Barbarouses has dropped off the line. Crowd start to find their voice in support of the home team. Can hear Ruben Zankovic pushing the go button verbally, asking Henry Hoare and Florent Berenguer, Nathan Manatidis to step on. Costa Barbarouses is all the way in midfield, but frees up Sheridan. Finds his way over to Piper with a bit of luck. Into the area, and Shiga! Well, the move wasn't beautifully constructed, but the finish was eye-catching. Piper into Ishiga on the turn first time, and having sucked up all that pressure, Wellington strike first.
It's what we talked about, Piney. I said, you've got to score when you are on top. It's a pretty average ball from Sheridan. It just about gets to Piper. Piper does the best thing he can do. He plays it behind the back four, and the finish is unbelievable. For this to run across your body and you to hit it into the far corner, it's with a man on your backside, that is so difficult.
They might just check, and they are checking offside. Did Hideki Ishiga get just a bit too far advanced of Waleed Shaw? You're right, Ify, the finish is terrific.
So hard to do when it's coming from that side and you've got somebody so close to you.
Hideki Ishiga has a couple of goals already this A-League men's season. Will this be a third? Gee, it's hard to tell, isn't it? It's so hard to tell. Chris Griffiths-Jones will be drawing some lines on the pitch in the VAR booth, or having those lines drawn for him.
It's a tough one, this part. Look, back in my day, that's a goal. Before VAR, that's a goal. It's a really good run. He maybe has just mistimed it here. He's got front position. You're talking millimetres here.
He does look off from that angle. It looks as though his toe and also his torso is ahead of Shaw.
To be fair, Piney, whether it's given or not, I think it's one of those finishes that will give you a little bit of confidence. That's so, like I said, it's so difficult to do. It's a fantastic finish. Hopefully he gets a chance in the next few minutes and back on the score sheet.
We're still waiting. Chris Griffiths-Jones is still looking, still making his decision. Crowd getting a bit impatient. We're hearing that this is likely to be overturned. Let's find out. Well, we didn't hear the referee, but we understand the hand signals. Hand up in the air is offside. Goal chalked off.
Look, it was still a great move by the Phoenix, and I think they'll be buoyed by that. They know now that they can find a way through this Brisbane Roar team.
They'll try and come again quickly. Sheridan striding through midfield. Corbin Piper, who provided the cross for Ashiga, again helps it into the area. Rattray battling away. Zabala puts it out. It's one of those, isn't it, Greenie, where the crowd celebrates, then the crowd waits, and then the crowd voices their disappointment.
Yeah, the air has been sucked out of the stadium on that one. It looks like the Phoenix are still buoyed by that opportunity, but the crowd definitely are not.
I think you're right, Ivy. I think the fact that they constructed the goal-scoring opportunity as keeper and defender come together for a goal kick, I think the fact that they created it will give them confidence.
Yeah, look, for the players, I think you think, oh, hold on a minute, that wasn't too difficult. Play through the middle, ball down the outside, you're getting the right back nice and high, which is what we see from Tim Payne normally. Corbin Piper's in a great position. It's a really good ball. He's done exactly the right thing. And it's I keep saying it, what a finish that is. I think you should give the goal just for the finish.
I think when Hideki Ashiga's putting together his show reel, he probably includes it.
Piney, I would keep that in and cut the celebration short and just pretend it was mine.
So Brisbane Roar, having dominated early possession and territory, thought they had fallen behind. Not to be. Wellington haven't lost this season after opening the scoring, so in that context it would have been an important goal.
Yeah, I think for Zadkovic now, he'll be thinking, look, we've got off the hook there a little bit. Go back to what they were doing for the first sort of 15 minutes.
Here's Ashiga. Barbarouses outside him. Couldn't quite get the ball out from under his feet, Hideki Ashiga. Now it's Manatidis putting pressure on Hughes. He's come away with the ball, the Manatidis. O'Shea. Halloran. Now Klein. Patience from Brisbane. Bert Gilroy bangs it into the back of Lucas Kelly-Heald. Not a lot of room to work with for Klein, but he does well to find Halloran. Ben Halloran in the area, and he comes face to face with a brick wall in the shape of Scott Wootton. Batman to get it back. Berenguer. It's very well to find a teammate in Halloran, and he finds Klein. So an end product here, Henry Hoare. Corbin Piper says enough is enough and clears it up to halfway.
Really good, intricate play there. Started with Berenguer in the corner. He managed to find a way out and about 6 or 7 passes in around the box.
Poked on by Barbarouses to Nagasawa. Now Corbin Piper's in the area. He comes together with Macklin Freak. I think there are calls for a foul back and build-up play there with Costa Barbarouses staying down. Corbin Piper is also down in the penalty area. So, dual concern here as Costa Barbarouses holds his right shin, and Corbin Piper, I think, just had a heavy collision with Macklin Freak. So, yellow card has gone the way of ability, I think, for the challenge on Costa, who I think is okay.
Didn't actually see the challenge on Costa. I was too busy to see what Corbin Piper was doing and if he could get there for the finish. We'll see it now in, oh yeah, very, very late. Nagasawa's done really well to get the ball off, actually, and then you know full well that there's no way that Corbin Piper is ever pulling out from that. Manages to get a toe on it, just couldn't get the elevation. If he gets a little lifter on it, it's a goal. For Costa and Nagasawa now, get the ball in and around Billity. We've said real athletic player, wants to always try and get in front. Now that if you can get it into Costa, he can be dropping off and popping that ball off around the corner. It's going to make his day a really long one.
Well, he's already received one red card this season, Hossein Billity. That's his second yellow of the season, but as you say, Ify for the next 65 minutes, he walks a bit of a tightrope, doesn't he, the Brisbane central defender.
I think knowing Costa, he'll be playing in and around him for the next 60-odd minutes. You know, it's pretty important now. I think one slight mistake and Billity's gone, and Costa can bring that out in anybody.
Thankfully, he's back on his feet. You always worry when a player stays down for as long as Costa Barbarouses did. Thankfully, nothing more than a whack on the shin.
He won't want to go off today, Piney. He'll be feeling that there's goals out there in this game with the way that Brisbane have defended for the majority of the season. You can just hear Jay O'Shea there. He's not happy with them going long aimlessly. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-match. When you've got somebody like Jay O'Shea, he wants the ball all the time. Get the ball into him, let him dictate play. They look so much better when they can do that. A lot of the time he can spread it wide, or he finds Berenger in that pocket and they can play from there.
Yeah, such a key player for Brisbane, isn't he? The captain O'Shea. Costa Barbarouses dropped that one off a bit short of Rattray, but it's been recycled, and now Piper has got a bit of room to work with. Shiga has peeled out towards the right, towards the far post where there weren't any black shirts. And Brisbane will follow their captain's instructions and try and play this one out, and it's just about worked for them. Nice ball ripped inside to Henry Hoare. Amanatidis going to run at Corbin Piper.
It's a long way round Corbin Piper, I tell you. Did really well there, just gets his body in the way and runs across his line. So you've got to be so quick to be able to go round with the amount of space you're trying to work in.
He's clearly got the raw materials, Nathan Amanatidis. Has already played under 17 and under 20 internationals for Australia. Rattray into Barbarouses, who slipped at the vital moment.
They played out pretty nicely there, Piney. That's what they're trying to do. That's what it looks like. That's the blueprint. And I think Costa stays in his feet there. They're out on the halfway line and they're going as one. You know, the times when they misplace a pass in their own third, I think you've got Zakovic there. That's what he's asking. Can we press? Can we, you know, try and cough up the ball half the pitch?
You can see Giancarlo Italiano as well, dancing in his technical area. So invested in this game. Brisbane now with another chance to fashion something. Halloran into Berenguer. And he tried to find a teammate but couldn't. Klein tidies up. His cross is not what he was hoping for. Nagasawa in this more advanced position he's found himself in recently. Doesn't have a lot of help at the moment. But wins a free kick in the centre circle. And Ability has to be just, I mean, that's not a yellow card, but he's just got to be a bit careful, doesn't he?
No, but you get one or two of them, they all add up, and, you know, he's going to get himself in trouble. So he's got away with that one there. But like I said, Costa's going to be nipping at his heels, trying to nick the ball off him, trying to get in and around him. One thing I'm noticing actually from the Phoenix, though, is when the ball's played into Nagasawa, when the ball's played into Costa, the back 3 or 4 have got to get up quicker, and they've got to close those spaces up and attack as one. I think it's a bit of sort of front 5, back 5 at the minute.
Here's Kelly Heald. Too close to Macklin. Freak, who was untroubled together.
Probably not enough numbers in the box there for the Phoenix. There was nobody going across the near post. Like that's one thing I talk about all the time whenever I'm playing or coaching. If the ball's coming in, you've got to send somebody across the goalkeeper's eye line. If you're first in the box, make sure you're the guy going across the near, and things can happen after that.
Wally Shaw decides to go long and finds Bellinger. Clever header to Hoare. Henry Hoare, of course, is back at Brisbane after his loan spell with Korean club Gangwon FC. 10 appearances, 1 goal during his time away. Patient build-up from Brisbane. Hall's dropped off the line and didn't have a lot of options, but found Shaw. O'Shea doesn't find his target with the flick. Barbarouses, can he find a teammate? He does, in Nagasawa. Kazuki Nagasawa surrounded by defenders, and Ability gets the vital block.
That's a really nice touch there from Costa. Turns out, plays the ball down the side, and Nagasawa didn't really get his feet sorted out. I never really felt like he knew what he wanted to do. Tried to get it onto his weaker left side and didn't really get too much on the shot.
Retray. Now Wootton. Forward towards Barbarouses. Nice touch off to Nagasawa. A couple of men outside, including Piper, who hasn't quite managed to get there, but does on the second attempt. Corbin Piper dancing along the byline. Was there a hand up in there?
That's handball. That's handball, Piney. They're going to have to look at that, I'm sure. That was handball.
I think it was Louis Zabala. Chris Griffiths-Jones, no doubt, will have a look. It rebounded up. It appeared to strike the hand of Louis Zabala. Play will go on for the meantime. Kelly Heald. Wally Shaw again does the defending. Brisbane just having a bit of trouble clearing their lines at the moment. Now they do, and with the ball in touch, I wonder whether we'll have a look at this one.
It's definitely struck his arm. Whether they've obviously deemed it natural. I don't know what natural is these days, Piney.
So Chris Griffiths-Jones has had a look and decided there's nothing more to see here.
It's actually really good build-up though, Piney. Really good move again, and Corbin Piper does so well to chase the ball down. And then he's not a natural winger, but he says, I'll have a go here. Beats the fullback, it all ends up, and it's not a bad ball, it's caused murder in there. And for me, it was a handball, but not on the Phoenix side for this one.
Anna Green, you're getting a pretty good view of the coaches from your position down there. Giancarlo Italiano, as usual, is pretty deeply invested in the game.
Yeah, safe to say that Chiefy did think that was a handball and was appealing for it the entire time. Corbin Piper has been so impressive down that right side, and with Tim Payne looming back into fitness, I think it's so awesome to see him putting his hand up and saying, this spot is mine.
He's not a natural right back, is he? I'm not exactly sure what his preferred position is. He seems to be a man for all occasions. but wherever he's been playing, he has impressed with his physicality and his commitment.
Yeah, have boots, will travel, I think would be my quote. Look, we talked to him a few weeks back on the panel, and he was just, you could just tell he was so happy to be here, so happy to be a pro. Get me in the team, Gaffer. And I think for Chiefy, he absolutely loves that, and that energy can be really infectious in a group that's struggling a little bit.
Approaching the final 10 minutes of regulation time in the first half. Still goalless here. Halloran trying to change that, but can't make any further progress. Wellington have had the ball in the net, but Hideki Ishiga's goal ruled out for offside. Calls for a penalty, not heeded. Here's Zabala. Bert Gilroy finds Henry Hoare. He's looking for a runner, gets one in the form of Amanatidis. Klein. Zabala steps onto it. Now Halloran. Zabala continues his run. Pulls it back, but only as far as Rattray. Corbin Piper just having a bit of trouble clearing that, and Brisbane might yet take advantage of that. Berenguer across the 6-yard area, and Henry Hall was lurking. Halloran rips it in, blocked by Wootton.
As well as Piper's done going forward, Piney, he's having a bit of a battle with Zabala going the other way. Zabala managing to get a lot of crosses in this half, up and down that left-hand side. He's really impressed me, Zabala, so far.
Yeah, he's had an energetic game, covering plenty of Ks up and down Brisbane's left-hand side, defensively and on attack. Brisbane have a very deliberate way of playing the ball out from the back. Macklin Freak decides to cut out a few players and bring Zabala in. Hoare. Looked like that one had gone out. Assistant referee on the far side disagreed.
I think Brisbane have been a little bit more pragmatic, sorry, can't say the word. I hope I know what it means, but I think they definitely have been pretty happy to play out from the back when they think it's on. And if it's not, you know, you look at Freak there, he's played a great ball into the fullback because that is where the space was, and that's what they've created. So I think it's working for them. I think they've cut out a lot of the mistakes and they've looked a lot more assured. So I'd imagine that's the work that Zadkovic has had them doing during the week.
Elby Kelly-Hill puts a bit of pressure on Corbin Piper to do some work there. Isaac Hughes decides he'll be pragmatic and get that one away. So it feels as though Brisbane have had more of the ball, but Wellington have stepped in when they can and broken forward. Now, that was a foul by Jay O'Shea, and Jack Morgan decides it's yellow card worthy for the Brisbane skipper.
Yeah, definitely a yellow card. He had to make the foul. I think Costa Barbarouses was away. It's really smart play from Nagasawa here. He goes the wrong side, hoping that Jay O'Shea doesn't check his shoulder. He doesn't check his shoulder, which is rare for Jay, and he's in. He nicks it, and he knows that if he does get that next touch, he's probably sliding Costa in. The form he's in, he probably finishes too.
There's the foul from Jay O'Shea, which earns him a third yellow card of the season. But he cut off the attack at its source. They will have to defend a free kick now, Brisbane. And Ashiga's been pretty effective in these situations so far this season. Brisbane have conceded 10 goals from set pieces this season. It won't be 11 with Billity getting it away. Patient again from the home side as they just look for an opportunity to open up some space somewhere.
Again, Piney, I talk about what Zadkovic has been working on the week, and I think this, you can see, they just look a little bit more solid. They're happy to let the Phoenix have it here. As soon as it goes down the outside, they're trying to keep it down the outside. Nothing through the middle, and I think they've looked a lot stronger in what they're trying to do today.
Barbarouses has dropped into midfield. Sheridan. Again, Wellington rotate and recycle and come out towards the left now through Sutton. Nice little 1-2 with Kelly Heald. Tries to wrap his left foot around it into the body of Bert Gilroy, but behind for a Wellington corner, their first of the contest.
Yeah, nice build up there. They were nice and patient, waiting for the opportunity to arise, and it's a nice little 1-2 there. I'd just like to see the ball played in with a little bit more whip on it. You know, it was almost a, we'll see what happens. Not too many numbers in the box as well. You've got to, if you're going to put it in with a bit of pace and make sure there's numbers in the box.
So I mentioned before that Brisbane have conceded 10 goals from set pieces. 5 of those have come from corners. Can they repel this one? Ashiga takes. Good punch from Macklin Freak.
Yeah, decent ball in, but not really much for the Phoenix to aim at. Brisbane would have been able to deal with Scott Wooden. Probably Corbin Piper's the next best header of the ball out there. It's not a big Phoenix side when you take out the likes of Tim Payne. Kelly Heald, although he's a big fella, is not particularly great in the air just yet, but I think that will come.
Well, they'll try and do something similar here with a long throw from Piper. The flick on is good. Shaw gets it away, though. And then Amanatidis completes the job.
It's not a bad little weapon to have, that, Piney, the long throw there. Corbin Piper, you can get it in and around the 6-yard box. It can cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah, you don't see them so much anymore, do you? But Auckland FC scored a goal from a long throw the other day against MacArthur, with Nate Almirono completing the job.
I think if you can get them in there nice and flat, Piney, they're really hard to deal with.
Barbarouses trying to make some progress down the left, tracked all the way by Klein.
Been really impressed so far with Klein, Piney. Not seen too much of him this year, but on both sides of the ball, I think he's been brilliant. You know, happy to track back and do the hard yards down here, but he's good in and around the box as well. Likes to link up, likes to overlap, can see a pass, so I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah, debuted in the A-League at the age of 17, Sam Klein, back in January of 2022. Spent some time in Scandinavia, then back to the Gold Coast Knights, into the Brisbane side, and as you say, IP's looking very solid there in central midfield. Here's Piper again, raiding down the right, onto his left foot, ball to the far post for Kelly Heald. Ashiga, he goes down, Nagasawa, off the line by Billity. Again, the appeals come, and Chris Griffiths-Jones has some more work to do in VAR.
They're going to have a look at this one, Piney. For me, he's probably just overcooked his last touch and maybe lost control and gone down a little bit too easily. I'd like to see if there was contact there. Oh, I think that's enough contact there for me, Piney. He's definitely not played the ball. Ashiga's probably still getting another touch on that to get his shot off.
So is the contact from Walid Shaw enough for Chris Griffiths-Jones to ask Jack Morgan to have a look at it? The answer is yes. Jack Morgan has the final say. All Chris Griffiths-Jones can do is ask Jack Morgan to have a look. He's the one who decides.
Yeah, look, again, for me, if it was me, it's a penalty. I'm definitely biased, but studs on the knee when you're in the middle of trying to take your next touch, I think that's enough for a penalty.
Hideki Ishiga's been a really interesting proposition for the Phoenix, hasn't he, this season? You talked about him pre-game. Here's the incident. Well, Shaw hasn't got the ball, and he has got Ishiga. It's just a matter of how much contact is enough contact for a penalty.
I think that's enough contact, Barney, definitely. Yeah, for me, the defender knows straight away. His arms are up. He's pleading innocence, but there's definitely enough contact there. I'll be surprised if this is not given.
Well, Jack Morgan's having a good long look. It fell to Nagasawa, who had the chance actually to put it in the back of the net, but ability was in the way. They're slowing it down. I'm not sure whether the fact that it's taking this long is a good thing for the Phoenix or not, because if it's blatant, he gives it straight away, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, for me it was blatant enough, but clearly the amount of times he's having a look at this, I'm not sure he is going to give it. I mean, the only thing you can say, maybe he feels that Ishiga was never going to get the next touch. That's the only thing I can think here. He's thinking, where does this touch go? But playing devil's advocate, if the challenge doesn't come in, maybe he doesn't take as big a touch in the first place.
Well, we're already in an additional 3 minutes at the end of this first half. There's going to be a lot more because this is taking a couple of minutes. So Jack Morgan's made his mind up. Let's find out what his decision is.
It's not a pen. Review, there is contact, it is not a foul, no penalty.
Wow, I don't know what to say, Piney. So that's not enough contact for a penalty. And this has happened over the last few weeks. I've seen this happen at different levels of the game, and now there's a contact scale. Where do we slide it up and down?
Well, that's 4 times in 1.5 halves of football, or 1.5 games of football, that the Phoenix have had penalty appeals turned down by the VAR. Giancarlo Italiano just threw his water bottle to the ground before we got him on camera. He thought it was a pen, but not given. He's having a chat now to Campbell Kirkawana-Waugh, the 4th official.
Well, I'd imagine he's talking about the penalty. He's probably also talking about how long has just been added. We've just been sat here talking about the penalty for 5 minutes and only 3 minutes has been added.
You know, that's curious because we ticked into the extra 3 minutes. The board, I'm not sure, had gone up. If we get to 48 and that's it, then that doesn't seem right. But the referee is the sole adjudicator of time. We've had the extra 3, we play on. Klein, cushion header by Wooten to Rattray. Ishiga. So clearly there is more time to play. Halloran does well to shield it from Kelly Heald. Well, I thought that was a throw to Brisbane, but it went the other way. And Jack Morgan with a quick check of the watch as Isaac Hughes breaks forward. His pass to Piper, not what he hoped.
Yeah, sloppy pass there. He's, you know, nicely advanced. Get that into Piper's path. There's a touch out of his feet and maybe a ball into the box with a couple of minutes to go. So, not great technique there.
Another quick check of the watch from Jack Morgan, and as we tick past 49 minutes, the first half comes to a close. The crowd here in Wellington certainly making their feelings known. We'll have a look at the VAR penalty call during our half-time show. Scott Wootton is making his feelings known to Jack Morgan. Paulo Rattray also with a bit to say. Half-time though, in Wellington it's goalless. The Wellington Phoenix 0, Brisbane Roar 0.
No mai hoki mai, welcome back to Sky Stadium in Wellington as we celebrate this Waitangi Day. 0-0 at half-time between the Wellington Phoenix and Brisbane Roar, but don't let the score deceive you because it has been a very eventful half indeed. Certainly not without its controversy. Just before we came on air, the refs were treated to a chorus of boos as they departed the field, and we will get to why very shortly. First of all, Anna Green, just your thoughts on this first half as a whole, and how surprised are you that given what we have seen, it is still scoreless?
It has been such an intriguing encounter so far. I think momentum is probably a key word. So So Brisbane Roar had it, then the Phoenix did. Neither team's probably done enough to capitalise on that. So I think 0-0's probably reflective of the half so far, but man, there has been some interesting decisions.
Haven't there just? Well, let's get into the big one. This is one that's going to be talked about plenty in the minutes and the days to come. This was late in the second half. Hideki Ishige, goes down in the box. VAR check is called and the ref decides that there is not enough contact there for a penalty. Now, Anna, what I love about having you here is that last week there were also a couple of non-penalty calls against the Phoenix. You were the voice of reason and you said, nope, I can understand why that happened, I can understand why that happened. What do you think of this one?
This one has floored me a little bit, to be honest. I think most of the time when the referee is called over to the screen to be the final decision maker, it does go the way of the attacker, and I think on the face of this one, there was contact in the box. Ishige had a great first touch, took it past the player. There's enough contact there to put him off getting a shot off, and I think that is a penalty. This is a great touch of him. He can see the contact coming, and does he lean into it? Absolutely a little bit, but you can't begrudge him that. He still felt contact in the box. He went down, and for my money, that should be a penalty. I think the inconsistency of this compared to last week is such an issue. Players don't know how much contact is enough. Should I have been going down here? I felt a tackle. The defender did not get the ball. What are you meant to do there as a player? I think flip a coin, and that's what you'd get a decision. It's tough.
Yeah, it might be a very confused dressing room at the moment, and coaching staff as they try and figure out what to tell their players to do now in that situation. We will hear plenty more about that certainly as the day goes on. For now though, let's have a look at the stats from half-time. As we mentioned, it is 0-0. We have seen shots on goal from both teams, fairly even actually when you look at that. Is there anything else here that stands out to you?
Yeah, look, I think when we cut to the stats during the first half, Brisbane Roar had far more possession, so it's great to see the Phoenix getting that back on balance. I think the passes there, Brisbane have managed to find a better balance. We heard from Zadkovic in the opening credits that he wanted his team to find balance, and he's done that. They've had a good mix of playing out while still going long. So I think, yeah, that's probably what stands out for me the most.
Yeah, the expected goal's quite low there, but probably unsurprising a little bit given how the teams have been tracking so far, but you do expect, it feels like one of those games that is going to open up, and in fact it felt like one of those games that was going to open up right from the beginning, and that is because of the way that Brisbane managed to get underway. We said in the build-up, look, this is a team with nothing to lose, and they started with a hiss and a roar.
Yeah, that is criminal from Sheridan in there. To do that so early on in the game, they are so lucky that Brisbane didn't capitalise on that. To play that blind is not what you want to start off, and Brisbane started with such a hiss and a roar. The way that they were able to pull apart the Phoenix back four, making sure that they had to do last-ditch tackles. It was such a good start, and just what Zadkovic would have been after.
Yeah, but what he wouldn't have been after is them still not actually benefiting in terms of a goal afterwards. I heard Paul Eiffel say a couple of times in commentary, when you're in those moments of ascendancy, you have to score, right? How much will they be ruining the fact that they didn't manage to score in those first 15?
Oh, I think so much, because the Phoenix have come right back into the game. Brisbane was so on top, you know. I think what we've seen here is that there's been formation changes. So we've had new personnel come in, and that gap between the fullback and the wide forward, so between Kelly Hield and Sam Sutton on the left-hand side particularly, has meant that Brisbane wide forward have been able to get in so much space. They've been able to get turned and running at players one-on-one, and that's what they want all day. That's their X factor, and the Phoenix just gave it to them.
And when you look at the Phoenix, though, I mean, one man has kind of helped spark a bit of that change, I would think, in terms of the dominance and the momentum of this game, and that is Corbin Piper. And we have seen this a lot recently.
He is such a strong player. I think this is definitely his X factor. So he's been putting his body about, and the way that he's able to get that ball in behind the Brisbane Roar back four is such a threat. Unlucky to be called offside there, but it is what it is on that one. And he's just creating opportunities. He's so direct in his play. You know that when there's a 50-50 coming in like that Corbin Piper will be putting his body on the line, and you're going to get hit afterwards.
Yeah, it's a physicality, isn't it, that I don't want to say is lacking from the rest of the team, but he's certainly bringing more of it, and particularly as the season progresses.
Yeah, he's got such a big stature as well. I think we're looking at other academy players coming through, and they look like smaller players. They're yet to sort of get that about them and have that presence, whereas Corbin Piper has come in and he's got that straight away, and it's really paying dividends for the Phoenix today.
Yes, indeed. Well, they'll certainly be looking to Corbin to bring a bit more of that mongrel in this second half, the Phoenix. And hey, here's some good news. Straight after us, don't go anywhere, because right after the match, Crowd Goes Wild is following us live at 7:30 on Sky Sport 1 and on Sky Open with Mulls and Storm. Anna, we even get to feature on it, so I hope you're prepared for whatever they throw at you. I certainly will not be, so good luck. First things first, though, can the Phoenix break this deadlock? It feels like it is coming here at Sky Stadium. Goals surely on the cards in the second half. That is coming up next. It is 0-0 between the Wellington Phoenix and Brisbane Roar this Waitangi Day.
Here's the big talking point of the first half. The coming together of Hideki Ishiga and Waleed Shaw. VAR, Chris Griffiths-Jones told Jack Morgan, who's actually watching very closely there, you can see in real time, to come over and have a look. Jack Morgan came over and had a look and decided, I think he said there was contact, but it's not a penalty.
Just watching that back, Piney, you've got to give him a lot of credit for his position. He was in a magnificent position to see it, and he didn't flinch when he saw it. He didn't go straight for his whistle. He waited, and then you look back at VAR, he must have watched that 10, 12 times. And to say there's contact but not enough, you know, I'm perplexed. Can't quite understand that one, and if I was in that position as a forward, I'd be absolutely gutted.
Well, Hideki Ishiga has had a goal chalked off from offside and a penalty not given. There's Alex Rufer in the captain of the side, recovering from an illness. He's a week-to-week proposition, according to Tim Payne. How important is it to get Alex Rufer back in this side for Wellington?
Oh, that is so important. You look at Tim Payne coming back, he adds a little bit of experience, but, you know, you drop in Rufer and Rojas, there he is on camera. You get that guy back in, and it completely changes what you're doing in terms of how you're building up with Rufer. In terms of, you know, that cover in front of a back three or back four, and then the other end of the pitch with the Rojas, that, you know, the way he linked up, albeit for a few minutes with Costa Barbarouses, that was something to see, and I'd love to see that back before the end of the season.
Yep, I think we all would. There is apparently an import signing on Wellington's horizon. Hopefully early next week there'll be news of that. We have news of a change for Brisbane Roar. Nathan Amenatides has been withdrawn at half-time after a pretty energetic first half, and Jacob Brissett, the 19-year-old scholarship contract winger, is into the action. There he is for his 12th A-League appearance. Nippy attacker, so Nathan Amenatides, maybe it was always only going to be 45 minutes for the new arrival. Yeah, look, really interesting change that. He looked full of beans. I thought he had a good half. He was in and around everything. Looked pretty sprightly, so let's see what the young man coming on now can do. Underway in the second half, and rather unconventional from Kazuki Nagasawa, the midfield bomb to get us going. Wellington in the dark strip today, attacking the goal to the right of screen in the second half. Brisbane Roar in the chessboard shirts, kicking from right to left, and immediately Corbin Piper begins the second half as he played most of the first in a wholehearted fashion and wins a corner. I don't know what I just saw with that kick-off, Piney. I don't know if that's something they've worked on. I looked to see Chiefy's reaction. I'm not quite sure what was the plan there, but Piper did well again as he finished the half well. He started the second half well. Well, he could well be a target here for Sam Sutton's corner. He's already scored a goal from a corner at this end this season against Newcastle, Adelaide rather, towards the far post. Piper's there, and Ben Halloran hacks it away. Freak put under a hell of a lot of pressure there. Really good ball from Sutton to the back post. A lot of bodies flying in, but managed to clear. So the instructions from both coaches would have been very interesting to hear. We get a pretty good view of their respective demeanours sideline, and Jacob Brissett tries to make an early impact but can't find Halloran with his pass. Came to Brisbane, Jacob Brissett, after starring for Sydney FC's NPL side. I think the young fella will just want the ball back again. He just want to complete a pass after coming in at half-time. You want to show people what you can do, and your first pass is straight off the pitch, so he will look to get back on it as quickly as possible and redeem himself. Lucas Kelly-Heald using his big frame to see that one behind. Really, really good defending there, and you could see Halloran give him a little hand slap there to say, well done, young fella. The experienced campaigner that Halloran is, I think he enjoyed that. So it's now 2.5 home games without scoring for Wellington Phoenix. Only once before have they failed to score in 3 straight home games. That was back in 2016. It hasn't been for the lack of trying. Sheridan crowded down this right-hand side with Piper. Sutton sees Kelly Heald ahead of him. Little 1-2 with Nagasawa. In towards Costa Barbarouses. Blocked by Billity.
It's a really nice pick out there from Kelly Heald. He's just shaped as if he's going to play it in behind the defence, and he's snuck one between. Nice little roll ball into Costa. Tried to get it onto his left foot, and not a bad strike, but body in the way. Billity again. That's the sort of crosses and the chances that Costa wants. Get it into him in and around the box. Let him work his magic in there.
He's also, Costa Barbarouses, just 1 assist away from going to the top of the all-time list in that metric. He's currently tied with Craig Goodwin on 45 assists. And free kick coming the way of Wellington with Zabala through the back of Ashiga.
Yeah, that's a tough one, that. That will hurt. I think the small of the back. Just looks like he's holding that. I think he's going to be okay. Just going back to Costa and those stats you're talking about, though, Piney. 45 assists, is that right? Yeah, I think it shows just how well-rounded he's become. You know, when he arrived in the scene, obviously I was here early on with him and coming through as a youngster. Loads and loads of pace. Not much end product, if I'm honest. And I didn't think he'd turn into the player he has, but he's been absolutely fantastic for a number of clubs and will go down as an A-League legend.
Can he get on the end of this free kick from Sam Sutton? It's going to drop in no man's land between the edge of the penalty area and Macklin Freak. Jack Morgan's going to have a quick word to the assembled throng before that can happen. So the height is there from Kelly Heald and from Wootton. Piper up there as well. Plenty of elevation on it. Rattray on the edge. Ashiga. Back in from Sutton. Billity goes to deck and gets it away. Now Jay O'Shea, in fact it's Berenguer, isn't it, was clattered there, and there's a yellow card coming the way of Paulo Rattray.
Yeah, it looked like Rattray led with the arm there, and again, good position from the referee, and I think he got that one right that time.
Third booking of the season for the vastly experienced Paulo Rattray. Game number 205 in the A-League.
Sorry, my mistake. Led with the shoulder. Didn't lead with the arm, led with the shoulder. Wasn't too much in it, actually.
Now Piper comes through this time on the recently arrived Jacob Brissett.
It's been a tough start for Brissett. Kicks one off the pitch, and then he's got Piper to deal with, who's not backward in coming forward. So the young man knows he's in the game.
Yeah, it's not often that wingers come up against really robust fullbacks, is it? They're normally in the centre of defence rather than playing in those wide defensive positions. Yeah, Jacob Brissett will know he's in a game. Billity. To Berenguer now. Hoare building nicely. Here is Brissett. And has he come back from an offside position, Jacob Brissett?
Yeah, I think he was just ball watching a little bit. Again, it was nice play. Berenguer just drops off the top line again into those pockets. Nobody goes with him. He probably could have turned, but he just drops a little pass off, and then they should be away. So it's that next part. They're doing the first part. It's the next part.
Well, it's given away in midfield to O'Shea. Here's Jacob Brissett again. This time he has it taken away from him by Hughes. O'Shea, though, tidies up. Brissett onto his right foot. Halloran's waiting on the far post. Hoare tries to nod it on towards him, and the move breaks down.
Good info. I think it was from Scott Wootton there. You could hear him over the mic. He's right-footed. He's right-footed. Don't let him get that cross in. So great information from the more experienced man on his inside.
Yeah, he's been terrific all season. Scott Wootton hasn't missed a minute of action. Captain since Alex Rufer's illness and forced departure.
Am I right in saying, Piney, that he's out of contract at the end of the year? End of the season?
Yep, he is.
Surely top of the list, top of the Phoenix's list to retain somebody like a Scott Wootton, such a leader on and off the pitch.
In fact, I might have to check that. He might have one more year. If he does, I'm sure they'll be desperate to hold on to him. There was talk in this transfer window of a move up to Japan, actually, for Scott Wootton. Nothing seemed to materialise, but still at the top of his game, even in his early 30s.
Somebody who looks like he could play for a little bit longer yet as well. I look at, you know, your Stephen Taylors and your Andrew Durantes. I think he's in that same sort of mould. He'll go on as long as he wants to go on.
Here's Klein at the other end of his career, just early on. Raked out towards Brissett, who does well to keep it in. Piper is in close proximity. O'Shea. Zabala scampers back. Bert Gilroy joins the attack. Now Halloran. Wellington sitting in their low block. Jacob Brissett again looking to take on Corbin Piper. Little nutmeg into the area. Henry Hoare. Jay O'Shea can't get it out from under his feet. Klein tried to pass it into the top corner, Sam Klein, and didn't get the angles right.
Absolutely love Piney how the young boy Brissett's just come back into the game. Obviously took a couple of tough touches to start with, but they obviously fancy him because they're getting the ball to him as often as they possibly can. He doesn't mind having a run. He can go inside and out. I know they've said he's a right footer, but there he was happy to go inside and out and find a little pass inside. Looks very lively down this side.
Yeah, it says a bit about his mentality, doesn't it? That he had an errant pass and found himself offside early, but obviously hasn't let it get to him. Good header by Shiga to Piper. Again, Barbarousis has dropped off the line. Drives one across towards Lucas Kelly-Heald. Anthony Gilroy well aware.
Not a bad breakaway. Costa probably would like that one back again. Maybe could have picked a different option, but it gets the Phoenix back on the ball. They need to try and take control of this game because it is a little bit back and forth at the minute.
Little triangle frees up some space for Rattray. Forward towards Nagasawa, too much on it. Freak, well positioned.
Yeah, decent run and not a bad ball. I think if you've got Costa running off the back of that, I think Costa probably makes that. So it was actually the right ball for the wrong player.
Second half possession as even as it can be. Brisbane had a slight advantage in the first half. Hughes pursued by Hoare. Calmly back to LB Kelly-Heald. And he can't find Sutton. Game still waiting for its moment of goal-scoring inspiration. Here's O'Shea, always capable of providing it. Halloran too. Klein. Halloran. Now Berengat. And that'll roll behind. Anna Green is sideline for us. Still plenty of time to go. Greeny Both coaches in deep conversation. What are you feeling at ground level?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it feels like this game needs something to happen. I think everyone's come out. They're still finding their feet after the second half, and Brissette's come on and he's been doing so well. So I'm just looking for someone from the Phoenix team to also grab onto the game and really make sure that they can get something from it.
Well, Nagasawa might be your man as he finds Kelly Heald raiding forward again. Piper's up in the centre forward position. Sam Sutton. Delivery over towards the 6-yard area. Ability with the header away.
Really nice play from Kelly Heald there. Waited and waited and waited for Sutton. Slides him in. It's a really, really nice ball, actually. And then it's a stand-up ball. And you're hoping that Piper can get across his man and try and head into goal. You're looking for Ashigi to go in as well, so Piper can go in one more. Piper can get on the inside, then Ashigi's between the two, the centre-back and the full-back. Just more bodies in the box there needed, I think.
Good crowd here today. Kids were allowed to come in free today on Waitangi Day, public holiday here in New Zealand. Many have taken the opportunity on a warm afternoon to do just that. As Wellington pass through the lines again, Barbarousis opens up the left-hand side through Sutton. Kelly Heald. Sheridan. Nice little pass into Barbarousis, but he's forced away from goal by Shaw. And he gives up the corner.
Really nice, incisive pass there from Sheridan. Little round the corner ball. Good run from Costa. Manages to do enough to get a corner.
Ashiga addresses Wellington's latest set-piece situation. Plenty of bodies in charcoal in the penalty area to aim at. And firing in and heading in is Isaac Hughes. If you're looking for an unlikely goal scorer, he's turned up front and centre. The centre-back, who has at times had a challenging season, heads home his first A-League men's goal on the hour mark, and just a hint of a smile from Giancarlo Italiano.
I think there's a smile there, Piney, for sure. Look, we talked about there might be an opportunity for the Phoenix on set pieces. Brisbane have been struggling defending set pieces all season. Isaac Hughes is marked here. It's just lacklustre, absolute lacklustre defending. He allows him to get in front, and once he gets in front, it's just a case of hitting the target. It's a really good header. And look what it means to him, Piney.
Indeed, he, as I say, has had his trials and tribulations this season, but they're all forgotten for the meantime. Anna Green, you had a pretty good view of it from ground level, and looking at Giancarlo Italiano too.
A definite smile from the coach there, and that was such a great play from Isaac Hughes. We were waiting for someone to stand up, and he has stood up and delivered.
I think there, Piney, it's a mismatch. It's Ben Hanlon, super experienced player, but he's not defensively minded, and you've got a strong, tough, young centre-half who's really just bullied him in the moment there. Really pleased for him.
So Wellington have now scored first 6 times this season. They've won 4 and drawn 1 of the other 5. Brisbane have conceded first 12 times now, losing 10 and drawing 1 of the previous 11. They did well to soak up pressure from the Phoenix, particularly in the first half. Dodged a couple of bullets, an offside goal, and pretty confident shouts for a penalty, but weren't able to dodge the on-rushing Isaac Hughes. Special moment for him to score his first senior goal for Wellington.
Such a tough gig at times, Piney, as a coach. I mean, I think Brisbane have been really good. Played really well. You wouldn't believe they're so far adrift at the bottom with the performance. But ultimately, at the moment, it looks like they're not going to get anything out of that. And I think it comes back to the first half where they started ever so well. And you've got to score in those moments. And they've had plenty of moments today.
Yeah, I think, as I said right at the start of the broadcast, there have been some green shoots of gradual improvement. The 4-3 win over Sydney, I don't think anyone saw that coming. Narrow loss to Western Sydney last time out. A 1-0 defeat by Melbourne City, where they had their opportunities. When things aren't going your way, sometimes things just don't go your way. Still, half an hour to go. Plenty of time for Brisbane to get back into this one. Off the post. And they very nearly did. Goodness me.
That is a fantastic strike on the run. So hard to keep it under control, to be honest. So unlucky. It's at the inside of the post, gone across the goal line and not to be. But I really like how Brisbane have bounced back. You know, they're not licking their wounds, straight back at it.
And coming again through Hoare, behind by Wootton. Let's have another look at this chance. Inches away, Brisbane from drawing level.
Oh, it's a fantastic ball, Piney, but it's difficult to deal with in saying that. It's in a nice little area. He's got to hit this on the half volley between bodies and try and keep it controlled, and he does just that. You know, you're talking millimetres away from being a fantastic finish. Yeah,
Jay O'Shea it was, I think. 2 goals this season so far, both penalties, almost adding a third. Corner coming, though, the way of Brisbane Roar. Wootton inevitably deals with that one. Back out to Berenkamp. Looping cross towards the far post, and LB Kelly healed. Calms things down.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck to get across the line, and that might just be the width of the post there that saves the Phoenix and keeps him in front.
Yeah, when it hits the inside of the post and comes back across the face of goal, it's just so very nearly, but not quite for Brisbane. And we were just talking about how their performance hasn't really reflected where they are on the table. So close to squaring it up at 1-1.
Shige down here, and I don't think Brisbane are going to put the ball out. It didn't look like a head knock.
Jay O'Shea actually put his hand up there and said, yeah, we'll let it go out. Let's get some treatment for Hideki Ishiga. The Wellington Phoenix substitutes had been warming up anyway, and there is a change coming, not an attack. Tim Payne going to make his return in place of Lucas Kelly healed. So Tim Payne, who's missed the last 4 games with an ankle injury, will get 25 minutes here, and that's a sight for sore eyes with Tim Payne back into the action.
Yeah, great to see him back, brings so much experience up and down the right-hand side. Normally it does look like he's going to, it's a straight swap and he's going into the left-hand side. It may be Sutton at left back with Payne in front. We'll just see what eventuates here. But just great to have him back in the squad, to be honest. So hopefully he gets through this unscathed.
Yeah, the last time he played was against Melbourne City on the 3rd of January. Game number 125 in Phoenix colours for Tim Payne. It looks like he's gone into sort of a left-sided midfield role for the meantime, as you say, Ivy, with Sam Sutton dropping back into left back. I guess they didn't want to give Corbin Piper another job to do by moving him out of right back.
I'm sure he'll get another position before the game's up, Piney.
Brisbane come again. Sam Klein got the last touch there, and it'll be a goal kick. And subs coming for Brisbane as well. 2 more changes. Keegan Jelicic and Adam Zimmerino into the action. So 2 strikers or attackers who started last week get their writing instructions. There is Keegan Jelicic, the man with a bit of Kiwi heritage. His mum is a Kiwi. He played in the under-19, or rather 2019 under-17 World Cup. There's Adam Zimmerino also into the action.
Yeah, really positive subs there from Zakovic. Clearly going to try and get themselves back into the game. They're creating chances at the moment, so maybe if they drop to others, might get somebody that can convert. just on the Tim Payne sub as well. I think it's quite smart employing him down that side. Gives Sam Sutton a bit of help defensively. Add a little bit of steel in the midfield if necessary as well. So very good from Chiefy in my opinion.
Still bright sunshine here in Wellington as we enter the final quarter of the game. Here's Klein, who's been really good here. Jelicic. Not quite coming together for Brisbane down there right, but Sam Klein will tidy up. Here's Jelicic. Dangerous attacker, Keegan Jelicic, but Paulo Retre's seen plenty of that sort of thing in his time in the A-League and wins the free kick. Here's Keegan Jelicic. So as I say, went to the Under-17 World Cup in Brazil in 2019. Also in that squad, former Phoenix players, Ben Old, Alex Paulson and Oscar Van Hatten. Hasn't represented New Zealand at senior level though, Keegan Jelicic, keeping his options open. Also eligible to play for Australia.
Scott Wootton not particularly happy with Piper there. I think he thinks that was a decent ball. Piper sort of went to go, then changed his mind, then went again. And I think if he'd have gone the first time, at a minimum, he's probably heading that inside. And we know he's so good in the air, it would have been a great ball for him.
Well, it wouldn't be a surprise at some stage wanted to see another sub. Maybe Corbin Piper comes off, Tim Payne goes into that right-back role. Maybe a Nathan Walker comes on to add the energy that you've been so impressed with.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on what Chiefy thinks or how he thinks the game's going. I don't think there's enough control at the moment for the Phoenix. Does he try and sit on what he's got, or do you get on a Walker and say, right, let's go and beat these 2 and 3?
Zimmerino looking to add impetus from the bench. Brissett. Isaac Hughes keeping his eyes firmly on the ball. 70 minutes on the clock. Brissett. And it comes. Not cleared by Wellington. Henry Hoare has it taken away from him though. Wellington just can't quite get it clear. O'Shea battling away as he always will to win the ball back. Klein.
Yeah, Brisbane doing a really good job of keeping the ball, or keeping the Phoenix actually where they want them. Every time it breaks out, the Phoenix can't quite get it under control, and it's just attack after attack.
Jelicic, what a ball into Henry Hoare! Henry Hoare! Keegan Jelicic with an incisive pass. And the freshly re-arrived Henry Hoare scores the goal that draws Brisbane level with 20 minutes to go.
Again, we talked about impetus off the bench. We talked about firepower off the bench, and Jelicic, fantastic. It's a great ball into Hoare. He threads the needle, and it's the touch that I loved. And once he gets past the last defender, the finish is unerring. Just tucks it away, really. This touch here, beautiful. And he's actually bounced it into the ground. I don't think he even meant that. He's actually bounced it into the ground. He's ended up lifting over Kelly Hild. It's the old Mesut Ozil touch. I'd like to know if he meant it. But well, fantastic goal all the same.
Indeed, whether he meant it or not, the result is the same. Henry Hoare scores his second goal of the season, his 16th in Brisbane Roar colours. Gee, they'll be pleased to have him back. And Brisbane weren't behind for very long. And now it becomes an arm wrestle again.
And now, Piney, we probably do see Nathan Walker. We probably see Chiefy. I think they're being called now. I've just seen, yep, goalkeeper, coach, giving him the nod. Here's Nathan Walker. Is it Ruakonchi, actually?
So he's more likely to add a bit of steel in midfield rather than attacking trickery, but there'll still be another opportunity if he wants it for Giancarlo Italiano to use his bench. You get 3 opportunities through the game. He's used one with Tim Payne, about to use a second with Finn Rokonchi. Free kick for a high foot by the goal scorer, Henry Hoare. Wellington come again down the left where Corbin Piper has turned up. Here's Sheridan into Barbarouses. It's Tim Payne over there, in fact, not Piper. Lifted into the 6-yard area and up and over the crossbar by a Brisbane defender. A corner result.
You've got to say the same with the Phoenix. I think the way Brisbane bounced back after the goal, I think the Phoenix have done the same. Not licking their wounds, they're trying to find a way to get this winner.
Ishiga. His delivery's been good so far this season. Has led to a few goals for Wellington Phoenix. Near post delivery. O'Shea try to keep that in, but goes behind for another corner. So Hideki Ishiga probably quite pleased he's going to get a second go at that. Looking for greater elevation this time, no doubt, Hideki Ishiga. Far post ball over the top of Wooten and cleared by Brisbane. Now Sheridan and Kelly Heald just with a little bit of miscommunication there for a second. Ended okay though as Kelly Heald finds Nagasawa. High press though by Brisbane through Brissett. Henry Hoare actually, had he controlled that, would have been in quite a good position. Instead, it's Wellington who set off through Tim Payne. Heavy touch from Payne and ball taken away from him.
Yeah, last touch, he was driving through the midfield. It was good up until that moment, but a little bit of rustiness maybe there with that final touch. I think looking at what Ruben Zakovic has done, I think he's been really smart. He's got those fresh bodies on, and they can still employ that press that's worked so well so far. They'll be able to run out that press until the end of the game now.
I think we might be about to see a double change, actually. You were talking about Nathan Walker. I think he and Rokonchi are going to make their way on. Attendance of 9,084. Apart from the derby, it is the biggest attendance in Wellington this season. Brisbane come again through Brissett. Henry Hoare. Bert Gilroy has to head it back towards his own goal. And does he foul Sam Sutton? No, says the referee, but Sutton takes it away from Klein, but it's fallen the way of Costa Barbarouses. Ishiga up on the outside. Hideki Ishiga on goal. Ishiga! Sliding tackle by Zabala, who is immediately enveloped by jubilant teammates.
I thought for a second there Costa had taken just a little bit too long, but he was quite smart. He sucked the defender across, giving the space to Ishiga. His first touch is probably not quite where he wants it, and then the shot, he's dragging the shot across. But there's a runner there. I think it was Nagasawa. Even with the place that the shot was going, it was definitely not going on target. But I think Nagasawa would have been a tap in on the far post there.
Another corner result. Sam Sutton's going to take this one to change the angle with his natural left-footed in swing. Towards the far post. Bounces off a Brisbane player. Freak can't gather. And whistle blows. Free kick coming the way of Brisbane. And we're going to see those changes.
There's absolutely no foul there, Piney. Keep it, Jacob Spoonley, wherever he is. It's your fault, Spooners. Protected species, these goalkeepers. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, he's been kicked by his own player, and a foul's been given.
Yeah, slightly curious one. Finn Conchi into the action, so too Nathan Walker, Corbin Piper and Kazuki Nagasawa have made way. So Tim Payne has come across to his traditional right-back spot. Meantime, Brisbane are also going to make a change. The vastly experienced Jack Hingett is going to play game number 294 and take the place of Anthony Burke-Gilroy. So straight swap it right back with Hingett on for Burke-Gilroy.
Hingett coming on to deal with the young fella Nathan Walker. That's going to be a decent matchup if Walker can take it to him. Obviously Jack Hingett, vastly experienced, a very, very good player, but does he have the legs to keep up with the Nathan Walker that's just come on the pitch?
Yeah, 16th A-League men's season for Jack Hingett, his 14th at Brisbane. Conchi's gone into central midfield. Tim Payne out to right back. Nathan Walker will operate up and down the left-hand side. It was impressive in a starting role in that position in Christchurch against the Mariners last time out. Plenty of noise around this ground. Plenty of passion in this arena. Plenty of interest in what's going to play out over the next 10 minutes or so. Isaac Hughes, who thought he might have scored the winner, not to be. Calm from Rattray there as the ball came to him at pace from Kelly Heald. Hughes. Conchi can't find a teammate. Brissett finds a little bit of space to work with. Jacob Brissett, he's got Hingett up on the outside. And corner results. So Jack Hingett, who was brought on for his defensive capability, has won a corner at the other end.
Yeah, again, nice play from Brissett. Been quite impressed with him coming off the bench. Happy to run at players, he goes in and out of bodies. Happy to go both ways. Trying to pick a pass at the end of it, not a bad ball into Hingett, and they managed to get a corner. Keep the Phoenix under pressure here.
Adam Zimmerino is going to take this one. The delivery's good too, and Hughes had to get that one away under a bit of pressure. O'Shea sizes up his options. Well, a point wouldn't improve the position of either side. It would be just a 6th point of the season for Brisbane.
I think given where they are on the table, Piney, I think that, you know, Brisbane are going to go for these last 10 odd minutes. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yep, no reason not to. And same for Wellington. They want the 3 points here so they can stay in the playoff conversation. There's a man down for Wellington here, Sam Sutton. So drop ball going to result here.
think you can expect the game to open up now, Piney. I still think there's a winner here. I think it's really going to get stretched over these next sort of 2-3 minutes, with hopefully both sides trying to steal the 3 points today.
Sutton back in the action, wins the header, but at the expense of a throw. Louis Zabala hasn't been quite as prominent in the second half up and down Brisbane's left. Ability. Cut out by Hughes. And flag up on the far side for offside. They want to get going quickly. Sheridan does well in a tight space to bring in Sutton. Not a lot of room to work with down Wellington's left-hand side, so they'll come right. Hughes into Payne. In towards Barbarousis, who can't quite get a touch, and headed behind by Jack Hingett for a corner delivery from Payne. Spot on.
That is a fantastic pass. Again, we talked in the pre-match about what he brings, and not just experience, but the quality. It's a great ball out to him. He gets it out of his feet, no second thought. He's had a little look up for Costa. Oh, I just don't think he's anticipated. I can only assume that he thinks the defender's going to get a touch on it. He's second-guessed himself. I think he keeps his eye on the ball there, and the form he's in, he tucks that away.
Corner results. And again, Ashiga will wrap his right foot around this one. Aiming for a charcoal shirt. Away by Billity. Back in by Sutton. Hughes thought he was being held in the penalty area. Just a bit of 50-50 by the looks of it.
Actually a decent ball back in from Sam Sutton there. Not much backlift, not much room to work with, and he's put it right into the area that he wants it. And I think if Hughes is a little bit stronger there, he either gets it under or gets his header away.
Into the final 5 minutes of regulation time. Ability. Slick pass. It's going to fall the way of Jelicic. Zimmerino. Jacob Brissett tries to pull it back, and pretty vital intervention from Paulo Retre, deflected it into the hands of LB Kelly-Heald.
Again, good football down this left-hand side, but I think Brissett has got to make a decision quicker. I think he second-guessed. He didn't really want to play it across with his left foot. I think he plays it a little bit earlier. There's a tap in there for Brisbane.
Wellington looking to pass it out. Jay O'Shea says, no, you don't. Walid Shaw. Sam Klein. Shaw. Tim Payne wins the header, but can't keep the ball in. Brisbane aren't settling for a point either. Jelicic. And again, Jelicic. Henry Hall, the goal scorer for Brisbane. And towards Klein. Back to Jelicic. He goes down in the area again. Jack Morgan saw nothing wrong with it.
Been pretty impressed with Jelicic since he's been on Piney. Happy to go and get the ball wherever. Always makes two movements to lose a defender before he gets it, and then normally looks after it when he gets it as well.
Payne can't clear. O'Shea picks up the scraps. Shaw rips it out towards Jack Hingett. Gets away from Nathan Walker, does Jack Hingett. Into the area, Jack Hingett, what a run! Halted by Sam Sutton's tackle. Costa Barbaroussa's just trying to flick that one on towards Roy Conchi.
Really good run down the right-hand side from Hingert there. I asked whether he had the legs to keep up with Walker. Can Walker keep up with Hingert after that? But really unlucky. Probably one too many. Probably should have got his crossing the one before.
Brisbane still on attack through Brissett. Looking to get onto his right foot, as he? No, he goes left. And Tim Payne concedes the corner. And we're going to see a special moment here, a Wellington Phoenix debut. Lachlan Candy, local boy out of Wellington College, is going to get the final few minutes here in place of Hideki Ishiga. Proud parents Craig and Tanya looking on as sister Sienna is in the Wellington Phoenix women's program. It's been highly regarded for a while, Lachlan Candy, and gets an A-League men's debut.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about Lachlan Candy. Piney coached against him last year. He went on loan to get some minutes in the Central League. I think it was Waterside Karori, scored a few goals there, was called back, got back in the Wellington Phoenix reserve side, scored a number of goals there. Happy to play up front or as a sort of attacking midfielder. Nice, tidy player.
Nathan Walker uses his pace to get away from Jack Hingert, who's using illegal means to try and stop his progress. And
I don't understand how that's right in front of the referee. He's got a good position again. His hands all over him. There's a shirt pull there. Crazy.
Here's Walker. Sheridan with the shot. Beaten away by Freak and then hacked away by Ability. And now a foul given as Lachlan Candy and Hossein Billiter came together.
Really nice snapshot there from Sheridan. I think everybody in the stadium wasn't expecting that. I nearly fell off my seat. I think he's been great today, Sheridan. Happy to drop in and play out from the back and look to spread the play, whether it's wide or through the middle. And he's happy to get himself forward as well, get the odd pot shot off. And his balls into the box have been good. Little no-look reverse passes. I think he's had a good game today.
6 extra minutes minimum to be added. We're into those 6 minutes now. But too much curl on that from Macklin Freak. Well, we've seen plenty of late goals in the A-League this season. Plenty beyond the 90th minute. Tim Payne, I think, just lost track of where the touchline was there, but wins the throw. Wharton plants it forward towards Barbaroussas. Sabala wins the header. Roy Conchi can't control, but does win the throw. Wellington on the front foot as time ticks down. Payne has Candy outside. O'Shea's come across. And goal kick results. Jay O'Shea, as per usual, covering most blades of grass on the football pitch this afternoon.
He's been everywhere, Piney. Another one who's really stood up today for the Brisbane Roar. Leads by example. You know, he won't be pleased with the position they are on the table, but he's done everything in his power to try and get them across the line today.
Crowd just giving Macklin Freak a bit of jib for the time it took to take the goal kick. Jelicic has been good since he came on. Zimmerino, back to Jelicic. Zabala. O'Shea into Henry Hoare. Jelicic, Keegan Jelicic. The tackle by Roa Conchi. Candy brings it away. Roa Conchi sets off down the left, sees Nathan Walker ahead of him. Comes the other way. Plants it over towards Tim Payne. Tim Payne with the shot. Macklin Freak always saw it coming.
That would have been some return, that. Really good play again, Roa Conchi. I thought he should have played Nathan Walker in down the left-hand side, but he's cut inside. Great crossfield pass. Tim Payne gets hold of it. It's a great little chop inside. Probably didn't borrow enough width-wise to bring it round the keeper, and a pretty comfortable save in the end for Freak.
Cushioned header by Wotton for Sam Sutton, who is urged forward. Zimmerino is going to pick up a yellow card for halting Sam Sutton's progress. They want to get the ball back. We've had 4 of the extra 6. Brisbane want to make another sub. Man down meantime. Louis Zabala with a bit of cramp for Brisbane.
I think he's been told 2 minutes left. Get up and get on with it.
We're going to see an A-League debut for Austin Ludwig. On for the final couple of minutes for Louis Zabala. He's earned his first A-League contract at the age of 27. The reigning 2-time NPL Queensland Player of the Year with the Gold Coast Knights. Signed until the end of the season and is going to get his first A-League action. The 27-year-old defender, Austin Ludwig. His first point of business will be helping defend a free kick from the home side. Sutton. Ludwig gets it away. Back in by Roa Conchi. Bouncing around in the penalty area. Payne. Sutton hangs it up. Freak punches. And there's a flag up for offside.
I'm not sure who has been given on a... Must be Payne, who's arguing the point now.
All pretty frantic in the final few minutes here. There'll be a bit more time added for the sub. Quick check of the watch from Jack Morgan. Throw-in coming the way of Brisbane. Nothing either coach can do now, apart from watch. Is there one last chance for either side? Klein's been very good in Brisbane's engine room. Can't find a teammate that time. Roa Conchi with the header. Walid Shaw gets it away. Honours even on Waitangi Day in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Isaac Hughes put Wellington ahead. But Henry Hoare with the equaliser for Brisbane. A couple of teams who have been down a little bit on their luck come away with a share of the points here in New Zealand to start round 18 of the Isuzu UTE League. quiet satisfaction, perhaps, for the visitors as they take a point on the road. For Wellington, they wanted all three and will be disappointed in their inability to do so. There's your final score at Sky Stadium today. Wellington Phoenix 1, Brisbane Roar 1. So, some frustration among the home fans. Henry Hoare, he'll be delighted. 2 goals now since his return. Macklin Freak kept out most things that were sent his way.